This one feels knockout. The stakes are as high as they've ever been for Bristol Bears, who desperately need a result under a fortress that very few conquer because of this lot. An imposing Canadian front row behind whom Dorothy Wall continues to prove one of the signings of the season, and Rachel Johnson, who is virtually omnipresent. Susie Appleby has changed her fly half for the first time this campaign as Taylor Perry wears 10 in a move which sees Liv McGovern scooch out to 12 and Alex Tessier to fullback. Claudia MacDonald and Katie Buchanan, while they simply hum with threat out wide. Dave Ward said in the week that he'd be delivering a Churchillian pre-match tub thump today, and here are the players who were lucky enough to be in attendance. It's the same pack who ran out before 9,000 at Ashton Gate, with an all-red rose front row, a Celtic menace on each flank, and the juggernaut that is Romas and Mahern at the base. Kira Bevan's return at scrum half is a huge boost, as is the sight of a fit-again Meg Varley. Ilona Maher will make her first start in a game of 15s in 1,164 days. If you dipped a toe into the PWR waters for the first time last weekend and you're back for more, what a great call by you. We are so thrilled to have you with us this afternoon. In a nutshell, Sandy Park is a windy amphitheatre where the pasties are hot, but Chiefs' defence is even hotter, and it's only a matter of time before they erect a statue of Hope Rogers at the entrance. Bears lining the tunnel will be wondering how all of a sudden they find themselves backs against the wall, 7 points off fourth, and about to contest a must-win fixture at a ground that most leave with nothing but bruises. Counterintuitively, it is crunch time for a side who pride themselves on silkiness. Those narrowed eyes on their jerseys feel oh so appropriate. They're snapping down the visor, about to get to work, and well aware that they are doing so under the mightiest of pressure. And before stands, which haven't seen an attendance like this all season long. And the hosts, as the drums ring out around Sandy Park, and led by their fulcrum, their glue, Poppy Leach. Exeter Chiefs, as fresh as this glorious Devonian afternoon, having played just 3 times since the end of November. Harlequins, Saracens and Gloucester Hartbury all dispatched. This is the remaining item on their PWR Titans bingo card. They love their rugby in these parts, but there might just be a few first-timers here at Sandy Park, just as there might be watching on from around the world. The Ilona Maher effect in full force and shining a spotlight on the sort of game which deserves one. These white lines are about to contain a super-sized West Country derby and a baptism of fire for Bears' sparkliest new bumper car.
Okay, time to change, please.
This has a knockout feel about it. It really does, and it will be played out under the watchful eye of Craig Matchwell-Keys, with Ian Key and Jonathan Healy, our assistants, and Peter Allen, the TNO.
Play advantage, played by Black.
Holly Aitchison in the white of Bristol gets us underway, and it's Hannah Bottoman tasked with chuntering up and over halfway.
First knock on, second knock on.
A pair of early knock-ons and an opportunity to welcome up into commentary in Sandy Park World Cup winner Kat Merchant, who has been licking her lips all afternoon long at the prospect of the exact players not about to be tied into this scrum. Kat, the backline battle today, delicious.
There's your mark, ladies.
Yeah, no, really excited. There's some really great players out there, but yeah, the pack as well, so exciting. I mean, Bottoman talking before the game, I thought she spoke really well, really calmly. They cannot put pressure on themselves to win. They know they have to win, but all they can do is focus on performance. I thought really smart words there.
Bind. Set.
Bears in white colliding with Chiefs all in black. And that's their 39th scrum penalty of the season.
Please.
Bristol Bears, 17 more than the side in second.
Yeah, that's incredible stats, and they do pride themselves. We spoke about that front row and how powerful it is before the game, but big error there as they miss the penalty kick into touch.
They say pressure makes diamonds, but it also makes funny things happen. Ball returned with interest. Courtney Keat, who wore 13 last week, but wears 15 today at fullback.
Thank you.
Gets them back up to halfway. Hannah Bosserman with a furious fend, and then the dinky little offload. She's been busy already with scarcely 2 minutes on the clock. The penalty won and then squandered. But Bristol's ball to flex for the time being as Ro Marston-Mahern gets her first carry of the afternoon. Expect plenty more where that came from. McGillivray thundering into Varley. Two thrilling young talents at outside centre. It's recycled cleanly. And Kira Bevan returning from that broken arm, wise to the fact there was a penalty to be hung on to that.
Yeah, you can see her looking up at the referee, just going, yeah, you know, we want this one, but they'll want to make sure of this into touch after, yeah, got that one in, but they're just settling, well, actually not quite settling in, are they? They've got a good intensity about them, so I think really good area now for them to attack in as well, but some great defence from Exeter, some good shots going in.
Hold 9, please.
Lark
hold the 2, please. Hold the 2.
62-time Red Rose. Sends that up completely unopposed. All the time in the world for Abby Ward to pop that down onto Bosserman with a barnstorming carry. Ball skittles loose, but now it gets wide. And now Ilona Maher has her first carry in a Bristol Bears jersey. And just look at her thunder. 10 metres. Crunched up and spat back out the exhaust pipe. Atkin Davies onto Marston-Mahern.
Tackle!
Bears tails well and truly up. They know that striking early here would give them such confidence, and scything through and over is Phoebe Murray. Backs against the wall and all the more dangerous for it apparently.
Yeah, that's a really good finish as well, because the Exeter defence were really stretched. There were gaps in there for Murray to be able to just pick off and take, which I thought was really smart from her. But that's end-to-end stuff as well. They went from one wing right the way from the other. So Ilona does a strong carry, ties two defenders across. But it all started with Bottomman. Great carry and then a nice offload out the back. It went to floor, but Bears don't care. They just like keeping that ball alive. So it whips across and then really strong, takes 1, 2, 3 defenders, and now they're looking short. They overstretch. Defender comes in there, and Murray just too smart to have that, just completely picked her off.
It's blustery at Sandy Park, it always is, and this a real tester for Bevan. That curbs wickedly past the face of the uprights. The score remains 5-0, but what a start for the visitors.
Fantastic start. It's exactly what they needed for a confidence boost, but they are a really strong attacking team. And again, both Bottomman and Ward mentioned it before the game. They had a strong 40 last time against Gloucester. They just didn't have a strong 80, so they need to now piece it together.
The oohs, the ahs and the ahs as Claudia McDonald is pulled back, a knock-on off that restart. Let's talk about her while she's on our screen in glorious Technicolor. Her first start since returning from a serious neck injury.
Good patience and good stability, yeah? Good picture over there.
Is it fair to say Claudia McDonald was one of the finest wingers on the planet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, she's amazing. And, like, you know, she has been out for so long, come back from some really savage injuries as well, and the confidence there to go up and go for that high ball off a kick-off, because she is so fast. They want to utilise that as well. A small knock on there, but we'll see her get ball in hand today. It might take a couple of goes, but, like, just to get back into the speed of things, but she's a class player.
Set!
There's the hand, there's the second penalty, 2 from 2, and an advantage to flex for Bristol. They'll need it right away. That was knocked on couldn't quite be gathered
forward,
there.
loose head folds across.
And it's just this pack, like for Bristol, like especially that front row into the scrum is just so strong. But Exeter have a good pack as well, so they're playing, you know, it's internationals v internationals that we're talking about, so Exeter doesn't have a poor scrum by any means, but Bristol
there was
are
a
just
gap, but I
that
accept
good.
it's a lot smaller than the first scrum. I'll look at it for you, yeah, no worries.
And
Line's
Chiefs
yours, Exeter, thank
potentially
you.
missing an athlete who they lost a little bit earlier on to injury. We should bring you up to speed, actually. There have been 3 changes since the announced teams in the week. Hope Rogers is out, so at loose head instead we have Michaela Nelson. We've also lost we've gained Christiana Balogun rather, because Evie Gallagher is out for Bristol Bears. And it's her back row colleague, Master Mahern, carrying like a Trojan through the midfield there. Ball loose again, but well hoovered up, and Murray, who is full of running, scampers up towards the 10-metre line. McGillivray on Varley, we've seen a couple of those already. Bevan onto her captain, Ward, vice-captain to captain outright. And back down the short side they come, this time the skip pass onto Alicia Joyce Butchers, who went viral, it's safe to say, last week with the sort of audacious dummy in a wide channel that would have made Ardi Sarvea blush. Rumour has it the cameraman's got whiplash. Penalties mounting in the face of Exeter Chiefs.
Yeah, the pressure is just building, and it tends to be what happens when you have pressure on you. Those penalties start to creep in, and Bristol will be very happy to get possession back down here again.
End of the line's yours, Exeter.
You mentioned a word beginning with A earlier, Kat. You talked about areas, and that was a very pertinent thing to bring up here, because they've not only had the possession so far, Bristol, but they've had the territory, which is in stark contrast to Ashton Gate last week.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're utilising it as well, and showing like confidence in their set piece, and then they're doing things off the line out here like that. That's a lovely out to in line there.
The last one resulted in a 5-pointer. This time, pulled to ground, not quite gathered by Balogun, but that then knocked on by Buchanan. Was not expecting the offload from her captain, Leach. It will be Chiefs put in with this defensive scrum.
Well, I think Leach's reactions were really good there. So with that turnover, it was just in her hands so quickly. I think no one on the outside of her saw that coming. But I like that. I like on turnovers to just play it, like move it, because obviously you were just attacking, then you're suddenly having to defend, so you're going to be out of position. So if you can move it, there's going to be rewards out there to be had.
There's a lot less space than before.
Well, you'll like this. Caught up with Susie Appleby in the week, and she has asked of her team today 2 things. One, togetherness, to not deviate from the game plan, which is what they did against the defending champions, Gloucester Hartbury. They tried to play as individuals to all be heroes. But the other one is, she said, push the envelope, go out there and play today. I trust you to look for opportunities and to exploit them.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, if you're given freedom to play, and I like that. Like, as long as you're doing it together, but have freedom, back each other, go for it, and that's where players can play their best rugby, because they've got nothing to fear, nothing holding them back, and they can just go for it.
That all-Canadian front row. Nelson, Totosi and Menon packing down opposite a trio of red roses. Could be a preview of a World Cup final.
Ilona is flat 4 here, whereas normally a winger would be dropped off. So actually, I think Claudia spotted it. She's gone wide, she's pointing over. Could be on for a crossfield here.
Well, it would have been if their carry bot, Rachel Johnson, had it headed straight around the corner of that scrum. Swift ball from Flo Robinson onto new fly half today, Taylor Perry, who finds McDonald. Tassier, one-handed gather, knocked on again. The ambition was there in spades, but we might just be seeing the teething problems of an all-new playmaking axis for Exeter.
Yeah, definitely, but I think they created the space there nicely, because it was on, there's a 2v1 here, so just looking at that switch play, which was the right call, but just doesn't quite, manage to hold on to it, but definitely that right call when you're running out of space.
This is our 5th scrum in 10 minutes.
I wondered what you were pointing at. I was like, what am I missing? I was watching you point, and I couldn't be counting the scrums and where they were. Okay, got it.
Bind. set.
3 scrum penalties to Bristol Bears. They have got Chiefs on toast at Sandy Park.
You just can't, you can't play if you can't keep the ball. So Bristol just being able to,
I know where you're going. I'm on the same page.
To get those penalties, move further up the pitch, and just they're really getting control of this. And
good there, yeah, thank you.
Exeter are going to have a word and see how they can try and fix things up in there. You mentioned Hope Rogers being missing, and that is a big miss for Exeter. She's their top try scorer. So not only a Bristol missing Millie David, but actually Exeter missing theirs as well.
The fingertips of Balogun can't quite gather, but there she is on litter picking GT. Make sure that the ball stays wide after that mishap at the line out. Hannah Bottoman bumps 2 Chiefs in quick succession. She is just rugby's answer to double concentrate squash. She packs such a punch. Loose ball though, sits up beautifully for Katie Buchanan. She's got McGillivray folded over that ball, protecting it by the hands of Dorothy Wall beneath that trademark hot pink scrum cap. Here's Nelson. Slower ball for Robinson. On to Totosi. Tackle made by Balogun. She's been everywhere, these opening exchanges.
Release, release. Same as the one over there, comes on the body, not on the ball.
Of that ruck, ferocious at the breakdown already, this one. Now McGillivray. This time it's Varley who comes up on top in that particular head-to-head.
Well left, well left.
Sniping down the short side, but brilliantly read by Varley. There was Flo Robinson. The Eagle, Johnson. One of so many Americans out on pitch right now.
Yep.
And it's Liv McGovern with her 100th kick of the campaign from hands. It's a tricky one, and it's left for Anika Bonner, pinned all the way back in her 22. If they can get it back here, this will be the first time we've seen Chiefs with ball in this particular part of the field. This is when some Bears fans scream for pragmatism. There's no one home to kick it. Yeah, they don't kick, and I think Exeter, they know that because they've just got one player back. Normally in a back three, you'd at least have 2 back, open side winger and fullback, but they've left fullback all to herself because they're confident Bristol don't kick it.
Good work, good work.
Gloucester Hartbury did it all day last week at Ashton Gate. 13 or 14 up in that front line, just one back in a sweeper role. Dave Ward calling his troops naive in the post-match assessment. Scintillating, brilliantly talented, up there with the most skillful in the league, but perhaps naive.
Tackle now,
I thought it would have been more of a tactic, to be honest, and they've been told not really to kick and to keep it as much as you can, because normally your 10 is going to kick you out of trouble. Then it looks like she's pushing people into position to get the cover so she can kick. She's dropping deep there, Aitchison, to be able to.
Yeah, you're fine there, thank you. Now use, please.
Surely, you can see the pink boots there at the top of your screen. Surely, this is Aitchison's. It's Bevan who will do the honours. She's made 10 or so metres there.
Yeah, not enough. I mean, it's a tough angle, which is why Nines will opt to box kick in there, because for the 10 can be a little bit difficult, but they would have wanted to get more from that. If you go for a short kick, you want to be able to compete for it. That's the reason you go for it. But if you're trying to clear it to relieve pressure, you've got to get more distance on it.
No.
For context,
They've had a try, so they've had a chance to get it on.
in an average 80 minutes, Bristol Bears kick 5 times. Exeter Chiefs kick 19.
Cheers,
we are looking at polar opposites in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, naivety, that word sort of caught me on that, because you've got really experienced players at 9 and 10. You've got international Welsh and English players there, so I don't think naivety comes into it. I think there has to be a discussion of how they are going to play it. Maybe that's not aligned, but I don't think they can be called naive.
Emily Tutosi with her first darts of the afternoon. She finds Wall, who in turn finds Fayanati, and now across the face go Exeter Chiefs. Liv McGovern floors it, accelerates, has the try. Chiefs next to fire in this furious West Country shootout. We're level.
One shot, one kill, the first time they're in there, and they are over. And what a beautiful line from Liv McGovern. She was the player that you were talking about there earlier in the week, being very excited by her and what she brings. So really nice out the back option, so you could see that was on out wide if they wanted to go, but there was that half thought from the Bristol defence, are they going wide, that little gap, and then you could just see there, got caught in, and then lovely line. That's really, really good. She looks like she's swimming there to go faster. My arms are going to make me run faster. But no, great running line there. But the key thing about that was there was options all over. There was really nice running lines there.
Liv McGovern has started every other match this season for Chiefs at fly half. She's looking good wearing 12, as Alex Tessier finds herself wearing 15 and on kicking detail. She's up to the task, up go the flags, and Exeter, to the delight of those gathered at Sandy Park, all 3,500 of them, go ahead.
Yeah, and an important one as well, but they just look very, very clinical in that line out. Duffy Wall going up to receive, and then, yes, those options, those running lines off, and then just, yeah, good hard running, and we're off again.
Good hard running, and then just a satisfied nod from Cat Merchant alongside me. Yeah, big fan of that. Yeah.
Where's she come from? Oh, no, let's not appeal. Yeah, well stopped. Good work.
Spiralling effort, that one, but it sat up perfectly for Courtney Keat. Aitchison finds Maher, screaming for it out wide is Varley, who returned last week from an 11-month injury layoff. So good to see her back. Listen to the roar. Chiefs thought for the world they turned that one over, but quick reactions from Bevan, and then even quicker feet from Christiana Balogun, keeping the ball with the visitors, looking for a response. Whipped by Aitchison onto her captain. Now this is Byrne who arrives at speed.
Ball's here. Ball's clearly available.
Aitchison, the little dummy, a delayed pass from Murray. She's such a conjurer in the midfield, so crossing there. Ball gifted right back.
Yeah, so I think what Phoebe Murray is very good at is because she's a handler, but also a really good runner as well. So she keeps defences guessing, but there they've got called there for crossing. So that first penalty against, which is some good going in 18 minutes.
Inside, mate.
They're a very well-disciplined side. They tend to average 5 fewer penalties than
just off a bit more, please, ladies. Thank you.
It's interesting to see how they can capitalise on them when they
Bristol,
get them.
take a step in the back, please. 4.
Yeah, well, I saw actually they get their penalties more in attack than in defence. So discipline-wise, they're doing it like defensively, they're trusting it, but yeah, in attack they get more.
Broken away.
This penalty was Chiefs to work on. Fayanati on an arcing line there and accelerating all the way into Romaster Mulhern, which I believe most doctors don't recommend.
Agreed, yeah.
Robinson finding Leach. Ismail Nelson. Ball ricochets off her chest and into the hands of a bear. And look at this Grizzly go to work. Ilona Maher disdainfully trundling all over the top of Alex Tessier. We've waited and waited to see her get a ball in paw. They called it trundling. You called it trundling. No, a winger never wants to hear that. I think Ilona Maher would be delighted to be described as trundling. From a winger who trundles to a winger who tiptoes. Renika Bono finding the door of opportunity there, slammed tight shut by a combination of 2 of the Red Roses' brightest future prospects, Buchanan and McGillivray up in defence.
Use, please.
Bevan again on clearance duties. This one stays in field. Oh, wonderful work from Taylor Perry. A blade of painted grass, the difference.
Oh, I thought her tiptoe might have been in touch there.
If she had a size bigger, boot-wise, she'd have been in touch.
Yeah, small feet to save it. Yeah.
Taylor Perry, Olympic silver medalist.
You've got to release, Bristol!
fact, she's the only athlete on the pitch who can claim to have a better colour of Olympic
We then
medal
have
than
holding
Ilona Maher.
Oh, there's some boasting rights, isn't there? Yeah.
Sorry, what do you want?
And here's how she did it.
Yeah, so much better box actually from Kira Bevan there. Like, nice, it's a good chase on it. So there's those tippy toes that she's going on to. So touch judges there, so you can see that she didn't touch it. But yeah, that's close. That's a blade of grass.
Line is yours, Exeter.
One quarter played, Exeter leading, courtesy of Alex Tessier's conversion of Liv McGovern's score. Phoebe Murray soaring over for Bears early doors. Nothing soaring about that, as they fired from a cannon. Marston Mulhern, last season's top carrier.
I agree, that's why it's not a penalty.
Taking names through the midfield of Sandy Park, and now this is Murray with a little hitch step and a scamper back in against the grain. Bevan with options. Picks out Ward. It's Jeffries and Menon with the tackle. And another hitch step. This one from Marston Mulhern.
She's onside.
First kick from hands in open play from Holly Aitchison. And speaking of footwork, Alex Tessier just produced something truly beautiful out in the mud of Sandy Park. Aitchison's turn, all the tricks coming out of the boxes down there.
Space.
It's the best competition in the women's domestic game, this, and you're seeing all that individual virtuosic brilliance. Johnson clatters Varley. A lot of huffing and puffing going on here, but no one really making inroads. Now the pirouette. We're close to footwork. Bingo, Cat Merchant.
Yeah, definitely.
Bottoman back in the pocket. Then the skip pass. It's Murray finding Maher. Maher still going. I think every one of her carries so far has punctured the gain line in some capacity. Frenetic at the breakdown, and then lovely hands laid up on a plate from Bottoman, but
stop.
Looks though we might have had a knock in the midfield. Ebony Jeffries.
White scrum.
Yes, it's going to be a Bristol scrum referee.
There's lots of time, you know the process.
They were just worried potentially about a head knock there, as normally white referees will stop a game.
On field, just restart with a scrum, stop for safety.
Well, the scrum has been hotly contested so far, but no denying it. It's 3-0 in the penalty count of that particular set piece to the visitors. So let's get the thoughts of Chiefs forwards coach, shall we? Steve Salvin is alongside Ashley Wilmot.
Thanks, Claire. Steve, I mean, it's been an exciting opening 22 minutes or so. What have you made of what you've seen?
It's a great game. We're finding that they're probably the edge in the scrum at the moment, which has given them a bit of field position. But I think across the board, set piece-wise, there's a good battle going on. Both line-outs are functioning at the moment. We knew they liked to play ball in hand, and it was really important for us to be kept our defensive connection, and we're seeing that at the moment. We perhaps just need a little bit more composure, ball in hand, when we get the opportunity.
Scrum, ladies.
I'm seeing you on that walkie-talkie. I'm not sure if that is the correct terminology, but what are you saying to the team? What messages are you delivering?
Just value the ball. So when we get the opportunities, we just tended to cough up a little bit, and we're actually giving ourselves some good opportunities. So if we can value the ball a little bit more when we get into those try-scoring areas, we give ourselves a better chance of converting.
Good to speak to you.
Thank you.
He's not usually someone to mince his words, Steve Salvin, but I did think that was very diplomatic, saying that Bristol had the edge at scrum time.
I think he even said might have the edge. I think they definitely have the edge there.
They've had both edges in a corner, Steve. We might be about to see it again.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Good height.
Bottoman and Byrne get to work. They've got Chiefs in their crosshairs. Marston Mulhern winching down, popping that up, and this is deft into play. Ilona Maher is in off her wing, and she thinks She's got a bit of a run-in to be had to Tessier. Bumped again with all the irreverence in the world. The apology comes in,
the option
but it's safe to say she's having a real impact on this game.
Oh yeah, they're clearly looking to utilise her as well. She's gone right off that left wing all the way across. It's a lovely move as well. The ball's behind her. Once she decides she's running, she's going. She lines it up, and you can just see. But a great effort from Tessier to say, when you say put your body on the line, that's it. It's getting in front. She knows she's going to take a really physical hit, but manages just to make Ilona spill that ball out.
It's our first line-out steal. It's our first line-out error of the afternoon. Serious pressure from Bristol Bears there, and it means that they've got ball back in the red zone. No team in the PWR capitalises as well as this lot in these sorts of areas. 44% of their visits result in some change. So what can they do? Hunting a second in a game. Remember, they must win if they want to keep their playoff hopes in their own hands.
Ball's there.
It's Byrne beneath the bodies. It's Atkin-Davies in at scrum half. Here is Murray. Shoot line from Joyce Butcher. Shapes for the offload. Thinks better of it. Rides the contact. Keeps it safe.
Yes, please.
Atkin-Davies again in at scrum half. Here comes Bevan. Byrne. Decoy line there from Balogun, but Byrne still going with the sort of fend that would make Ilona Maher blush. Tessier can't gather. Balls with McDonald. Charged down from Maher. Helter-skelter stuff.
But I think Exeter has still got pressure on them because Bristol are throwing everything at it. They really do. They have those hardline runners. They have runners out the back. They've got their forward players that are, they're happy to move it as well. They're not just carrying hard, even though they have the likes of players like Sarah Byrne who can truck it up and take a lot of players to defend her, but they're moving it as well. And Bristol playing some lovely attacking rugby here.
Another scrappy line-up for Exeter, but somehow the sort of prodigious ability that saw her nominated for World Rugby's Breakthrough Player of the Year. Maggie Fayanati turned spilt ball into opportunity. And now they draw in a glut of white jerseys and will exit.
Hold them up, please, mate.
Not through McGovern, not through Kerry, perhaps through the scampering feet of McGillivray.
Off feet.
You have to think they knew they were playing with advantage there, because I'm all for playing at your 22 if it's on, but Bristol were lined up there, so I don't think that was the option that was on, but maybe they just thought, well, we've got advantage, why not try it?
Why was that, sir?
Off feet. So support your own body weight. Good there.
Speaking to Dave Ward in the week, I asked him how Bears were going to approach today without accidentally becoming desperate. And he said, you know what? Desperation isn't a bad thing. When he used to be led by Mike Brown at Harlequins, Dave Ward, as a player, Brown used to say, we need to play with desperation. And he always thought that word had a negative connotation, that it could be a bad thing. But with time, he's come to realise exactly what Mike Brown meant. And he has asked for desperation this week. He's asked for an intensity, an edge that Bristol haven't exhibited yet this season. Is he getting that from his players?
Yeah, I think they are really, I think the pouncing on balls that might be turnover and each breakdown they're going into and they're running really hard. So yeah, I think they are
10-10's up now,
desperate in that way to make an impact.
Same as last time, ladies, really good contest.
I guess, is you've got to toe that line, because if you do things you wouldn't normally do because you're desperate to, then I think that's where things can come unstuck.
Crouch.
Let's go, Ren.
Bind.
They swapped Ilona over to the right-hand side here. So interesting to see if they're going to do an 8-9-15 wing move to the right to try and hit her.
Both wingers. It's Renika Bonner on Bevan's shoulder. But Bevan is more interested in making a tackle there than the ball.
There's 2 individual and 2 team. I will have a word at the next scrum. At the next scrum, yeah. Scrum specifically.
Thank you.
And Abby Ward, wise as you like, just checking in with Craig Maxwell-Keys and asking how many penalties Exeter have conceded recently.
On the edge, spot on, thank you. Just on the edge of the line, yours, Exeter.
Ready? Ready?
Plenty of ball, plenty of opportunities, so much territory. Just will need to start making these count. Safely delivered onto Joyce Butchers, and now the white jerseys begin to march. Now the black ones splinter. White keeps marching. White will rumble down. Is the ball over the whitewash? No, held up. A huge, monstrous defensive effort from the forward pack of Exeter Chiefs.
Entry from one. And a collapse.
Yeah, just need to see if that.
Assessing potential penalty try. Did you catch that,
But
Peter?
we will head to our TMO, Peter Allen.
Currently no, but if that changes, I'll let. Okay, we have got replays, yeah. So assessing potential penalty try option here. So looking at entry, collapse, and whether that player then is in and around the ball that prevents the grounding.
So looking at the initial line out, which goes well with that setup, and it really does get moving. I thought this was going to be pretty
no replays, rolling peak,
clear
so
and over for Nelson, who ends up with it at the back. Good carries, good carries. The referee's looking at what happens when they pull it down.
You got any replays at all, Craig?
No replays on screen currently, so if there are replays rolling, we're not seeing them in stadium, mate.
Okay, so if you've got no replays, yeah, I'm with Jonathan. Yeah, Exeter 1 has entered from an offside position, made the tackle, prevented the try from being scored, so penalty try and yellow card against Exeter 1.
And yellow card against Exeter 1. Off you go. Entry and collapse.
So there we go, good call there from referee. Noticed that Nelson was coming from the wrong position to come and enter and stop that from being scored. So penalty try, they don't have to take the kick, and they replay it down now for 10 minutes. So a big turning point there for Bristol.
Good work, John.
So 12 plays 7, Bristol leading.
With you, Dilly!
12-7 on the score sheet, but it's 15-14. Just as critically out on the field, Exeter with the personnel deficit as Bevan drifts across and finds Murray, first receiver this time. Cute top from Aitchison, finds Maher, who has just sat down Rachel Johnson, and I'll tell you what, that is a collector's item because the US Eagle is hewn from titanium. Marston Mulhern.
Now tackle.
That's a mismatch. Perry shooting up in defence, but doing enough to ensnare the number 8. Lovely hands from Varley.
Sorry.
Flo Robinson combines with Totosi. Flo Robinson, who this week got called up to England training camp, that first one of 2025, this huge World Cup year. One of 4 uncapped players to get the nod from John Mitchell. Balogun, met by the double shot, that playmaking axis of Perry and McGovern, driving her backwards. Again, get it to Maher, seems to be the ploy at the moment, but that's better from Chiefs. That was met with roars at Sandy Park.
Retreat in front.
Aitchison
fake.
From the pocket makes good meterage there.
Yeah, good meters, and glad to see them kick it from Bristol, because you know the ball just 2 phases before that was fingertip stuff. Could have been a knock-on. They're putting a lot of pressure on themselves in their own 22, where you could just clear it, relieve that pressure, and trust the defence.
Let's go, please, ladies.
Numbers, what's the numbers?
The back-to-back champions, Gloucester Hartbury, are purring once more and safely navigated Loughborough Lightning yesterday. They'll be hosting Barney Madison's brilliantly entertaining Trailfinders next Saturday, and we'd love your company. 3 p.m. on TNT Sports 1. Meanwhile, England are looking to call themselves Ashes holders for the first time in a decade. They've got work to do in Melbourne. They lost the opener out in Sydney.
I'm unsighted as to whether she's in front when she catches out or comes from behind.
Scrappy stuff in that midfield quarter.
Thank you.
Here comes Dorothy Wall, player of the match just before Christmas here against Loughborough Lightning. What a brilliant bit of business the Irish Sevens international has proven. Katie Buchanan, who will be smarting not to have been called up to the aforementioned Red Roses squad.
Easy. No, it's not level with the back foot. You can counter, but it's not out.
Wall onto Perry, and this now Jeffries. One of the Chiefs OGs.
That's committed, wasn't it?
Same could be said of Leach. That's the intercept from Aitchison. Back in field, and Perry forced to make another tackle. The fly halves really having to put it about. Swift, crisp service from Bevan. Murray with a floating pass. Joyce Butchers finds Maher, gets one beat over the top of the other. She is building a documentary-length highlights reel already. We've had 34 minutes of rugby. Come for the TikToks, stay for the reminder that she is a brilliant rugby player. Murray waits for that one, delays it, leaves Chiefs flailing, and it's a foot race between her and Tessier. Realises she's not going to win it, so back she pinwheels, finds Aitchison, overlap here, Farley sucks in Buchanan, and there will only be one result here. Renika Bonner, who is such a big stage, big occasion, big game player, with a flourish and a scoot over the line. Bristol compound Chiefs' woes.
Yeah, lovely finish from Bonner, but it has to be said that was all made by Phoebe Murray. She has been outstanding so far in this first half. She really did create that. You're right, she first of all made that line break, but this is just the 2v1, which they pull pretty flat across.
Tries good.
And then they were just checking it, I think, because we heard over on Mike Choice. Good. But yeah, good flat pass. But yeah, Phoebe Murray carving up through that middle, realised that she wasn't going to get that foot race win over Tessier, so moves it back the other way, and great hands and a good finish there.
Languid stroke over from Kira Bevan, 19-7 Bristol lead. We talked so much about the left wing.
Everyone, this is the one I've been picking up. So it's just that lovely art, like she just has an ability to carve through defences, and then yeah, that flat pass. Sorry to cut you off, Claire. I was like, this is what I mean.
Talked so much about the woman wearing 11 for Bristol. We should probably talk about the athlete right there wearing 14, 20 years old. She made her GB7s debut in Dubai, helping the team to a historic 4th place finish in December. She's just been called up to her first Red Roses squad, having already represented the under-20s. She's the one who downed Saracens at the Stonex in the semi-finals last year. So we're going to talk about Ilona, but we should also talk about Renika.
Yeah, 100%. She's more that out-and-out winger, like really fast, like backs herself. Ilona's a bit like having a back rower out there, I think, because she's just looking to bowl people over and use her physicality and strength. But Bonner, in contrast, is all about pace. What a step.
Physicality and strength to absolute twinkle toes. Have you ever seen the like?
That was beautiful. That was so good. And Exeter, really important to note, both times a really good reaction after being scored against. They come back. Like, they've only been in the 22 twice, I think, and then they managed to score from both of them. Lovely run in there from Perry. Like, fantastic stuff. So here it is. Seemingly almost comes from nothing. There's a rush up in defence which gets caught off. So kicked Ward off, gone through, and she's running at just a different pace. That doesn't look like a fly-out running. That looks like a back three player. So fast, light on her feet, really good, but you cannot go, can't fly, leave dog legs, and leave players like that with the footwork that she has. She's going to finish all day.
Taylor Perry has just single-handedly beaten half of Bristol en route to an immediate try of the season contender.
She just looked like she was running a different pace, didn't she? Just like carved up, went through, lovely. But it's so important that Exeter stay in this game, because Bristol did look like they were starting to pull away. Things were going their way. They're obviously dominating the scrum. They've dominated territory and possession, but Exeter have turned up when it's counted.
Canadian scores it, a Canadian converts it, and even short of a player, it doesn't matter, because Taylor Perry's got enough footwork for an entire squad of athletes. The individual called into Canada's Olympic 7 squad in Paris over the summer to replace Chrissy Skerfield, and if you're replacing Chrissy Skerfield, you've got to be dynamite. Yeah, you've got big boots to fill there, but she's filling them for sure today. What a half of rugby.
Ice now.
Bevan fancied the snipe, but Buchanan fancied the steal. Big turnover for the young winger.
Really good spot from Buchanan then. She saw her opportunity and went for it, because you've got to be very smart with how you do that. If you're tackling, you need to make sure that if you're an assist, you get your hands off before you go in.
Coming back on the second half.
So good time in there.
How long, mate? Oh, 20 seconds. Time flies.
I love that. We say that up here, we're like time flies, but you don't expect the rest of me to say time flies. There's obviously having fun as well.
Man of excellent taste, Craig Maxwell Keys.
There you go.
Michaela Nelson is back with us, or at least will be very shortly. She's down touch side right now. Brilliant one-handed hoover up by Alicia Joyce Butchers. The dummy last week was something very special, so was
the
that.
base, and it's half-time.
But less special the knock-on at the back there. And what a 40 minutes we have feasted upon here at Sandy Park. Scores from Murray and Bonner. Added to that, the penalty try for Bristol Bears. Liv McGovern and Taylor Perry with something absolutely extraordinary to leave us with just a 5-point difference at the break. Bristol Bears in a do-or-die clash, leading Exeter Chiefs by 19 points to 14. It will get us back underway. She sends that one long. Picks out Red Rose, Holly Aitchison. Aspiring Red Rose, Bonner, try scorer in the final 10 minutes of that first half. A brilliant first half. Carries up that wide channel. Varley to keep the intercept. McDonald snatches it. It's a gift. It's a gift for Exeter. It is a howler for Bristol Bears. And we're all tied up.
Kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it. Like, it just, you cannot believe the pressure that they've just put on themselves there, and delighted for Claudia, but in terms of for Bristol, flat ball there, you can see what they're trying to do, but it's just, like, I don't even think actually it was well read by Claudia. I think it was actually passed straight to her hands. So, yeah, real error from Bristol.
Thank you.
She's averaged a try a game since signing for this club in 2022. I don't think any of them have been any easier than that.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to be switched on and take it, but yeah, that was an absolute gift to Claudia there to finish. But, you know, the first half was all about Bristol. We just said about their territory possession, like everything thrown at them, and they really showed up. But then Exeter they've taken their opportunities really, really well. But that one was less about Exeter scoring and more about Bristol giving it to them.
Bristol only made 36 tackles in that first half of rugby we witnessed. That is how much of the ball they have had as they've laboured to 19 points. Exeter made 119 tackles over 40 minutes, and yet it's a level game.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was just doing maths in my head. I'm like, is that 3 times as much? No, that is crazy because Exeter, they just haven't had much ball at all, but when they have had it, they just score within like 2 phases, it seems. So this is just such a neck and neck game, 19 all in just contrast of how they're playing it.
What it does in 38 minutes remaining is it gives Bristol Bears 38 minutes to, without even being melodramatic here, salvage their campaign. Got a tough run of fixtures, a relentless run of fixtures, and they need to leave Sandy Park with a victory if they are to keep their fate in their own hands. Aitchison on to Hooker, Atkins-Davies, and then Marston-Mulhern. Bursting over the 10-metre line. Down the short side they go as Ren Bonner out on that far touchline, but it's Tunningham, proud Bristolian, who carries next. Bottoming that back into the pocket from Murray, who puts some real fizz on that, and it's Joyce Butchers finding Maher, who heads back in field, looks back over her shoulder and unleashes Meg Varley. On the ropes, on the canvas, Bears roar in defiance and are straight back in the lead.
That was a really, really good try as well. The link play that they got with that. What Bristol are doing so nicely, and what I love about it is they have one hardline runner coming in, and then they have someone out the back, and the link play there between the outside backs was just so good. So it's here, and it's the handlers that we were talking about. Bottomans moving that across, and then lovely weighted pass here, that back inside step, and then for all your money you think that Ilona is going to just carry and keep on going for that, but she links really nicely. That's a lovely pass to Meg Varley out wide, and then a good finish. And doesn't she look quick after 11 months off, you said? Like, that she's looking rapid there.
Very sevens. The tapestry they weave there down that wide channel, the little look over the shoulder.
Yes, and I wonder why that might be.
Yeah. It's Bevan on kicking this week, taking over those duties from Aitchison after an off-colour performance at Ashton Gate. That's a beauty for Bevan. Up go the flags. That's the bonus point try. So whatever happens, Bears won't leave here empty-handed.
Yeah, but I think they're going to be wanting more than that, and especially with the stats that they've had, they're going to definitely want to make sure that they take more than just the scoring bonus points. They want this win, but this is a great game, isn't it? We knew it would be close, and they are rivals, but this is fantastic.
Tackle! Kick-off wellied right into the awaiting arms of Maher. Here's a platform for Bears, and off that platform trumpets Marston-Mulhern. It's Dorothy Wall who draws the penalty, and this an opportunity for Bears to exit.
Yeah, and settle into it, because that's one thing they've got to, you know, you said about playing with desperation, and that could be said of playing out of your own try line. Is that a bit desperate? But need to make sure that when they have it, it goes, and that has just made touch there, and those are the ones that they need to make sure of, because now, I mean, that's a monster kick all the way up the pitch that they're going to have. Cheers, nice, good line-out possession here.
Watch easy! Watch easy, Will!
Just hold the two, yeah.
Short and simple. Atkins-Davies onto Joyce Butchers, and now here it comes through Marston-Mulhern, who will carry and carry and carry, and then give the most winsome of interviews too. Keats able to accelerate hard onto that ball. So perfect was the placement from Phoebe Murray. Ward finds bottom, and then Leach goes hunting. But she's swiftly back to her feet and into that defensive line. Real delay on that front. Just a patient start from the playmaker who's settling nicely into this one. No Amber Reed, remember, so she's shouldering all of that playmaking by herself.
Yeah, good effort.
So today, Phoebe Murray has stepped up in a Reed-esque capacity. Here she is now, with a little dab through, and then the chase. She might have the wheels, the kick is beautiful. Gets past Tessier, bodies down upon it. And it looks as though Katie Buchanan has spared
Peter just boxed that off, so we've got
blushes.
taken over by Black. Scrum 5.
Taken over, so it was taken over there. So that what a clever little nudge in there though. Like we said that Bristol don't kick.
Just checking.
So we've got on field taken back in. If we're clearly wrong, the team will tell us.
Let's go, Bears!
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, Craig. Yeah.
Here we go!
Scrum 5.
Yeah, she does. She touches it. I think maybe she thinks it had bounced over and she touches it, but she definitely carries it.
Long time since the last scrum, so stability, please.
Let's go.
Because there's been so long, we haven't issued the warning.
What a good
so we'll see
decision
what happens here.
to kick that through and go. So yeah, they don't like kicking it from deep in their 22, but they're happy they're doing 2 attacking kicks, and that would have worked really nicely for them.
Bind.
The scrum penalty tally for the afternoon, 4-0 in favour of the women in white.
Stay there, 9, please.
And look at them march, slowly, ominously. Over they go! It's another penalty try, a thunderous score in the biggest game of their season.
No clear individual at fault.
So there you go, no clear individual, but penalty try there.
But issue a warning at the next scrum.
Yeah, they're absolutely dominated and gone. So here's that try.
So no clear individual identifiable. It's a team offence. They'll go on a team warning at the next scrum.
All the way over. And normally, I would no individual at fault, but normally even a team offence on penalty try, I thought it would be a yellow. Someone's
just
going
into
there,
place.
but I think he's opted the team warning instead.
You're good to go.
High restart from Tessier. Too high for Abby Ward to gather. It was Rachel Johnson who managed to get in and under it. There's the offload. Cute as you like from Menin. The loose head on the gallop. Now Wall. That's deft. Through the hands of Leach. Bouncing ball. And look at the appetite. The chase from Aitchison. Bristol
early tackle.
Wrong discipline-wise, but this
from you a lot already.
Prime
Let's bring it down a notch, please.
Yes, and you can see Exeter actually just take a moment there to kind of breathe, recover, because this game they thought they'd got back into it when it was 19 all, but game's starting to again turn into that momentum for Bristol, but Exeter now need to, and they have done so far. They strike when they need to, and this is a time, if ever, they need to strike.
The war cries and the drums, but the ball is Sarah Burns with a trademark hurtle up the turf here at Sandy Park. It's Katie Buchanan all by herself in the backfield. Tessier just drifting across now, alive to the threat and knowing that she might have to try and stop a rampaging Ilona Maher once more. Excellent ball placement. Allows Bevan to find Atkin Davies, and now Murray. Aitchison is just coming around the corner here, wondering where she might pop up and cause mayhem. Joyce Butchers, who plays like a winger sometimes, she really does. And speaking of wingers, it's Bonner who is ushered back in field and then dumped down. Bottoman draws 2 black jerseys. Murray in at first receiver. You get 1,000 touches of the ball in a week if you're a Bristol Bear. They're so hot on handling. As I say that, their patterns come a little unstuck, but they're just as happy. 1 through 15. Offloading it, popping out passes, it's skipping. Exeter are readying the cavalry.
Where she's there. Hold one. Yep.
Aitchison gives that a right welly. Bonner is bearing down upon Buchanan, grabs hold of Tessier, forces her back in field, but the Canadian has managed a moment of sorcery to unleash Buchanan. Here's Perry, now Flo Robinson, goodness me.
Just check, Peter.
This game is just turbocharged. Aitchison out to Cunningham, turnover ball if Bears can just flex it. Maher realises there's no one to her outside, so she takes the tackle. Evan just knocks it on at the base. Oh yeah, just a small one there. She's digging to get it, goes forward, but pat from her teammates
3 and 6.
just to be like, don't worry about it, let's stay focused. Some just tough defensive hits in there as well, wasn't there? I think Claudia McDonald's definitely put a couple of shots in on her wing as well, and some big hits in the middle too.
We've had 3 team penalties at scrum and 2 individual. That's a team warning, please. There can't be any more. I'm sorry to the new players, but it's a team offence.
Okay, yeah, fair, because actually the offences were in the beginning, but you can't give away 5 scrum penalties and not expect someone to go. So yeah, next one, if there is a penalty, there's a lot of pressure on every single scrum now.
Okay.
We don't want this match to end, not for a second, but it will have to eventually, and we'll all be waiting for next Saturday at 3 PM and we can go again. The Circus, the back-to-back TWR champions, hosting Trail Finders out in the West Country. And on the other side of the world, the women's Ashes continues apace. Heather Knights, England, looking to call themselves Ashes holders for the first time in 10 years. We've got work to do in Melbourne, and we'll be bringing you that on TNT Sports 1 from 10:30 at night.
Okay, ladies, here we go.
That was perfectly timed with the referee whistle, well done.
Changes have been made by Susie Appleby, and she's really brought on ballast and experience. Exeter Chiefs' first ever captain, Linda van der Velden, who's also skippered the Netherlands, is on wearing 19, and into an ailing front row, Charlie Jacoby and Kalina Maloney, a pair of industrious and seasoned internationals.
Well, one of the things when I was looking at the team sheet was that Exeter bench is so strong. They are looking to finish the second half, and you could tell it's got to be a tactic with the way they did it, because they've got superstars on that bench.
Too bad, Bristol Bears have just shoved them backwards off that ball, and now there's chaos in the backfield, which Courtney Keats, looking to make amends for that thrown pass down the other end to Claudia McDonald, is keen to take advantage of. Murray frees her hands so swiftly, it's blink and you'll miss it stuff. She finds Bonner.
There's the ball. She does really well to move for your player on top.
Golden hour at Sandy Park, and we're into the box office stretch of this one. If the Women's Ashes is going on down in Australia, then the chase is well and truly on. Chiefs with a 14-point deficit to overcome if they fancy themselves to be the side who can bash Bristol out of the playoffs hunt. Burn shaped for the pass to Bosselman, but then straightened and accelerated. Bevan decides territory is what Bears want right about now. Tessier can't find touch. So Aitchison, who's got a bit of sevens pedigree of her own, remember, the Olympian. She makes a mazy way back towards a black jerseyed reception committee. Balogun filled Evie Gallagher's boots with aplomb today at the last minute. And now Ward.
Don't hold her.
Bosselman past the outstretched fingertips of Aitchison. Brilliant reactions from Byrne, and now it might just open up. And here is Ilona Maher with a hooker and a fly half to beat. Oh, she's going to do it! It is quite simply marvellous.
That was, we spoke about different styles of wingers, and that one, incredible. I think Maloney had a big ask on her hands, the hooker coming across to try and get it, and then Taylor Perry just just couldn't get it done. I mean, we saw her footwork earlier and some amazing skill set, but from Ilona Maher there, that was incredible. Really, really strong, just bowled her out the way to score.
She's brought the crowds, the record-breaking crowds, but with that she's reminded us that the only thing shifting faster than Ilona Maher jerseys is Ilona Maher herself. She is an athlete first and foremost, and she might just have widened the gap to something even Chiefs can't breach.
I don't even think it's the pace, it's just the absolute power. I don't think people realise how difficult that is to do, to actually bowl someone out your way and then still keep going forward, because normally there'd be some kind of impact. It's not even a handoff, it's a full body, like, out of my way, I'm going to keep going like a bulldozer, just going through, but just incredible strength.
She spent all of those months on Dancing with the Stars, learning to be light on her feet and to be dainty. And Alan was the name of her partner. He did all that work, and she's put her boots back on, and here she is just turning defenders into origami.
Because you'd think most wingers in that situation are looking and going, right, I'm going to footwork, I'm going to hold in, I'm then going to go on the outside, maybe get a fend. She just takes the direct route straight through it.
Make sure, please.
And Taylor Perry, who scored that absolute worldie in the first half, is left with nothing but a bruise and a red lipstick stain on her jersey to show for it.
20! Gone! I'm still here.
Quarter 3 at Ashton Gate last week was won 21-0 by Gloucester Hartbury. Well, it's Bristol who are winning quarter 3 in this outing, 21 points to 7. Looking to pull away in this second half, looking to keep themselves alive and kicking in what is proving the most hotly contested season we've ever seen of the Women's Premiership.
Got that on the shoulder, don't see net contact.
We'll be hearing from Dave Ward in just a moment. We can hear from him now off mic from beneath our commentary position. He is such a vociferous coach.
There's nothing in that trigger.
I suspect he'd have had something to say if they'd allowed Alex Tessier to get away with that one. It was audacious. Goodness me, looking forward to this one. Dave Ward is with Ashley Wilmot.
Thanks, Claire. I don't know if you can catch your breath, Dave, because I don't think the fans or anyone else here can. What a game this is turning out to be.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable game. Both teams obviously want to play rugby, which is fantastic. The conditions are great. And yeah, like I said, it's still in the balance. I know we're up, but we've seen how quickly Exeter have scored all season, and you know, we've just got to make sure we're right on it to make sure that we don't fall victim to that.
It feels like you've responded well, considering you did gift them a try at the start of the second half.
Yeah, we talked about galvanising it as a team. We talked about like if we do concede, go into the post. What's our best kick? What do we need to do next? You know, let's control what we can control. It's an old coaching cliche, but unfortunately, us conceding right at the start of the second half was unfortunately out of our control by the time it happened. So let's make sure we do a next positive action.
A word on the impact of Ilona Maher. She got her first start for you guys today, and she's really making her mark as well.
I think she's been great. I think she's been fantastic. She's been really physical, exactly what we knew she'd be, but also just the nuances as well that a lot of people maybe didn't give her credit for. I think we've seen that in training. I think we've seen that again today in the game.
20 minutes on the clock. What do you want to see from this team?
I want to go and put this game to bed now. I really want to go and win. Don't give Exeter a chance, because they are a very good team. They were top of the league for a long, long time. So I want to make sure, like I said, this breakdown's going to become a battle now, and everything about this game is 50-50.
I'll let you get back to it. Good to speak to you.
Cheers, thank you.
5 is yours.
Rachel Johnson, who will be hoping to be teammates with Ilona Maher at that World Cup in the autumn. an individual who very quietly, Kat, has become one of the best back rowers on the planet. Johnson, she just
time off.
goes about her business with such accuracy and intensity.
Yeah, I think just everything she does very, very well. So every single breakdown, every carry, every tackle seems pretty faultless. Yeah, like you said, just goes about her business, just, you know, taking people out in the best way. But yeah, very, very solid player.
Further changes for Exeter. Dave Ward mentioning there that the back of the breakdown is about to get pretty tasty, and so cue the arrival of Maisie Allen onto the field. Young Red Rose, Exeter born and bred by a stint at Gloucester Hartbury, but someone who will be looking to clamp down over anything left unprotected. McGovern finding Tessier, and now Buchanan gets it, and how about that as a head-to-head? She left Bonner, but it was Varley who was eventually able to scrag the winger. Requiring some serious scragging there was Flo Robinson, who's so alert to any little sliver of space. McGovern in at first receiver. Van der Velden finds Jacobi, the former state cheerleader, now turned rugby enforcer. There's been a couple of penalties now going against the Bristolians.
Yeah, offbeat in the breakdown on that one, I think, in that desperate attempt to maybe win the ball and to get that clear. But they can afford, they've got that much of a lead with Bristol that they can actually just ice those breakdowns. They can leave it. They don't need to give penalties away. Don't let Exeter back into this game.
End of the line, yours, yep.
If you're Abby Ward, are you asking for Bristol to change anything at this stage, or is it a case of just sticking to task and continuing to do what's got them to this stage?
I'd ask them to not pass long missed passes on the 5-metre defensive line. I'd probably change that. But in terms of the intensity, they have to keep that going. And Exeter's bench compared to Bristol bench has a lot more experience, so that's something for them to bear in mind as well. They're going to have to dig deep for the last moments of the game.
They're preparing to reach into their replacements for the first time. Simi Pam is preparing to come on. McDonald found herself in a one-on-one with Maher, but instead shaped for the kick, popped it up and over the top, and then fell away from the tackle on Keats. Feyenoordi was there to make the shot. Clattered for her efforts by a boot on the floor. She's slow to rise. Bevan needed to be quick to that because the pile driver over the top from Exeter, and here is Allen hunting for that first poach that we mentioned.
Yeah, she's left it. Really good decision.
She's left it to the delight of our referee. Here goes Delaney Burns, wearing 19 for Bristol, the young Red Rose.
Thank you.
Down the short side they go, but it's an unforgiving pass from Aitchison.
Yeah, I mean, her skill level is fantastic, so that's just individually error that's gone in there, but looks like they've taken it quickly. They've gone quickly, playing Bristol at their own game. Cleaner Maloney.
Take a step here, yeah, thank you.
The agent of chaos in that instance.
I'm there again.
Van der Velden, all 6 foot of her, pulling up trees and trampling bears. 20 metres, flexing all of that sevens athleticism. And here's Perry, wondering what she might conjure as we head into the final 15 minutes of this one. The gap 19. They're going to have to do something really quite extraordinary here, Bristol. Exeter with a penalty advantage to work with. Feyenoordi in and out, slaloming. Flo Robinson frees the hands, finds Tessier, reaches, stretches, scores.
Great finish there, and they were playing with the advantage as well, so they knew that they could move it. And Tessier, we've not seen the best of what she can do so far in this game. Been glimpses of it, but she is a really strong runner herself, and so actually to get that finish is well deserved in there. But yet you can't roll that Exeter out, and it's things like that. It's that decision making for the quick line out and then playing off it, because Exeter maybe, Bristol maybe switched off slightly, thinking, oh, okay, line out time, like going across with that quick take, and then really good support as well.
Fair question, yeah.
And Van der Velden, like, she made her impact known, didn't she, straight away? A very good, strong carry for her. She started a lot of games for Exeter, and they've got their bonus point try themselves now.
Just for awareness.
Out wide, that one swing. So 24-38. Simi Pam is on for Bristol Bears, replacing Hannah Bosserman. Turned 30 on Wednesday, so happy birthday to Simi, who actually scored scored a try for Bristol and their only ever win at Sandy Park back in October in 2020. They've not conquered this place since. And Cap, very few do. It is a hostile place to come.
Yeah, a really difficult place. Not many teams manage it. And I like to think that you don't write these things down. I think they're just in your head. Like for you, like you just remember, yeah, 2020, I remember that word. Like I swear you're like an encyclopedia of knowledge, like with your stats.
I've just got nothing else going on.
Rugby stats is my life. Yeah.
To be fair, when the rugby's this good, why would you watch anything else? This game, we build it as a knockout fixture. It has been played at that intensity. And just as Susie Appleby was wary of in the week, it looks as though a little bit of Bristol's desperation, a little bit of their willingness to play is infecting Exeter. In any other game, they'd have kicked that.
Tackle now! Let go, let go, let go! Played back in.
2 converted tries in it. McGovern decides they'd rather play without the ball for the moment than with it. They might just have it because Buchanan has just ricocheted off Courtney Keats.
Not now, you'd second that player in.
A completely selfless kick chase there from the pair of them. Perry does what Aitchison had done just moments ago. Can't connect with the pass. The ball's loose and it's McGovern who gathers. They're back where they started Exeter territorially, but they've handed it back to Bristol as Abby Ward calls for calm.
Yeah, that was a very good reaction there from Bristol. 3 players through on that turnover, flooded through to get to it. Sorry, on that loose ball, like going for it. And when you just have that amount of, you know, we're going to say that word again, the desperation to get to that ball, it can just lead to good things and can lead to turnovers like that. So, yeah, they've called for that calm. They've gone for posts. So building on that scoreline.
Good behind the post.
And an interesting decision from them there because they've dominated the scrum so much. Could have called for a scrum there, but decided for posts instead.
Bristol Bears have only attempted 1 penalty kick all season. This is a marker of how very seriously they are taking this, how very crucial each and every point might prove, and there's 3 more of them.
Yeah, because you know they've got a good set piece in the scrum. They've absolutely dominated in line-out. So you know they've got a very solid line-out as well. So to off for post, and as you said, only the 2nd time this season, they are looking to really build on this already impressive scoreline because they know what Exeter have in the tank and how they can finish so strong.
Just waiting for 5. Yeah. Is it 5? 7.
Eliane Clark is on wearing 18. See her there. The young Scottish tight heads. A welcome return. Coming back from a shoulder and neck problem. Back a little bit ahead of schedule as Maher heads off on her latest adventure. She's covered a lot of Exeter this afternoon. So too is Master Maher, who looks back for support from Simi Pam, who shoved her up and over the gain line. 11 minutes remain, 17 points the difference.
On the body, not on the ball.
And Bristol, remember, are doing this with an injury list, which would make your eyes water. Missing so many of their stalwarts, particularly in the back line. can.
Ball is
The
out.
sort of thing we're quite accustomed to seeing now from the loose head. Aitchison, flat and speedily onto Joyce Butchers. Atkin Davies sizes up Allen, and on the second bite of the cherry is up and over the top. Murray finds Byrne, who gathers and just carries Katie Buchanan with her for a couple of meaty steps. Patientness from Bristol. Patient or tiring.
Got that chest on chest, don't see clear head on
But
head.
either way, they're the best side in the league at retaining the ball in these sorts of areas. They will string
Just
together
all through the chest,
phases.
Craig.
Thank you.
Just wait for Chiefs to concede the penalty and then they'll kick it. Byrne now, fixing the defender and finding Bonner, who's not been given an inch today. Every time she's had the ball pat, they've shut her down. That try aside.
Yeah, well, they just know what a big threat that she is, and so that's what players with her quality can do. So next to wasting no time here as they go quickly.
Wool looking for the pass back into the pocket, but flying up was Joyce Butchers. She gathered the Irish woman up, stops that pass from happening. Jacoby, bundled to turf by Clark. Now Tessier growing into this fixture. Vanden Velden carries with such rage. She really does.
Go back,
That lost forward
Top
by
of boot,
Flo
don't see
Robinson.
it, touch a hand.
Off the beats, our referee reckons. So now here is Wool, little chicken wing out the back. McGillivray finds McDonald with just miles to beat, but she ushers her in towards Farley. Clear out was fabulous, and now this is Wool. Ducks that pink scrum cap and hurtles onwards. Maloney through the fingertips of Doyd. Tessier with the little kick. It was Allen screaming for that action. Now Bonner, ankle grab by her under-20s teammate Maisie Allen. They know each other well, these two. And Bristol still driven back into their 22 by a Chiefs side who know that it is now or never. They are running out of time. Wool, there's a 3-on-2 here, screaming for help as Farley. Maher on defensive detail. McDonald will win this one! There's the brace for Claudia McDonald, who is back to her world-class pinballing exploits. 100%. I think the carry before, she maybe overthought it and didn't go for the outside, stepped back in, took the safe option. That one, she fully backed herself, she went for it and absolutely came off, and that's what we want to see more of. It's that check and that go. It's a nice flat pass here. She's only got a little bit of room, but look at that, just hold, go. Does enough to stand Maher up and go round. I said Maher then, Maher. So tell me off, I'll have 500 million of her fans coming to tell me off. But no, it was really nice and just light on feet, and it's that just check and go. That's all she's doing the whole way through, making decisions. So really nice. Called up by John Mitchell for next week's Red Roses training camp, along with the likes of Mia Venner, Renika Bonner. Very exciting wingers headed to Pennyhill next week. As a very exciting winger leaves us for the afternoon. It's been quite the first start in 1,164 days in 15s rugby for Ilona Maher.
Well, it's incredible to come across 7 to 15 is such a different game, and to come and do it at the top competition that you can do it in, you know, I think is incredible against amazing players. So she's done really, really well and took to it so quickly.
Fresh legs. And not a moment too soon, you feel, for Bristol Bears. Gabriella Negrelli is on, as is Amy Coles and Ella Lovibond. So two destructive runners in the back line, and then the tireless workhorse that is Negrelli. Her opposite number, Allen, has it now. Finds McDonald, who kicks and chases, and it's Loverbond who will need to gather, knocks it on in the process. And look at Claudia McDonald celebrate that one. Absolutely, yeah, she was pretty pleased with that one, but a good kick through and a lovely chase as well. But yeah, they're putting pressure on because they still, like, it's 6 minutes and Exeter are playing like they believe they can do this. 10-point deficit, they think they can overcome it, but Bristol have to hang on deep. But as you said, they put fresh legs on, but yeah, just that fumble in there. On the leg of Abby Ward. She's picked up worse. If you haven't seen it, go back and have a look what she did to her face during WXV a little bit earlier on this season. She is hard as nails. But also, and it should be said, we've got a new Red Roses captain announced this week for the upcoming season. Zoe Aldcroft with vice captains Meg Jones and Marley Packer. She might not be in that trio, but Abby Ward is the sort of individual you would run through brick walls for.
Oh, absolutely, because she would do it in a heartbeat. She would 100% do that, and you know, you get leaders that lead by example, and she is massively like that as well.
Yeah, so monster.
So those stats coming out really crazy. That tackle stat that you were talking about in the first half, Claire, it's got even bigger in this one. 193 tackles versus just 51, which is just crazy.
Yes,
that means that Bristol have made 15 tackles, 1-5 in this second half.
That was quick maths. That was very quick maths, well done.
Terry finding McDonald here. Now Merrin Deutsch. Well read and well scragged by Clark. Into the 22 they come again, where they have been devastating. Terry onto Van de Velden, but flying from the line there was Burns. Big shot there from Bristol's replacement lock forward. Leach, Chiefs' first ever Centurion, finding Demi Swan. Van de Velden. That was messy. And in turn knocks on. Might that be the moment?
That could be it, because you know they felt like they were Exeter were building with that momentum, but
yes, 5 minutes. Time's off.
Bristol really looking to defend like heavily to shut it out, because they've done so well to get this lead, and they've been throwing it away. There's only 5 minutes, so they need to keep hold of this.
Ladies, front row warning to the boys, please.
Points the gap at the end of the first half. It's grown out to 10. Okay. It's been so nip and tuck. You hear the referee there just reminding Exeter that that front row warning is still at play.
Here we go. New players, stability throughout, please.
Before what is often one of the noisiest stands in the entire league, for perhaps one final time in what has been a gladiatorial contact. White will tack down before Black. Black under a warning. Listen to the crowd.
Neither prop this side sets, both shoulders go instantly across. Higher please, shoulders out. Reset. Sorry.
Straight down, here we go.
Exeter, with a combination of postponements and bye weeks, have played just 3 games since the end of November. We wondered whether they would be rested or whether they would be rusty. The answer is a little bit of both. But where there have been opportunities, Bears have taken them. But what a turn-up that is. At last, Exeter get a shove on at the scrum with their replacement front rowers, and then the penalty to go with it.
9 must roll first.
The tide has definitely turned in Exeter. Has it turned in time for Susie Appleby's women? It's still a big ask, isn't it? So you've got we've got 3 minutes to get 2 scores. They cannot put a foot wrong here. They need to score, they need to restart, and they need to score again.
First defence offside. First defence offside.
Before they impinged, it was Bears who were offside. So, Jacobi, with the start of every tight head's dream, she's got a scrum half to run at, and run at her she does. Feyanati throws the dummy, has a clatter. This now, Van der Velden, who's punctured the gain line every time she's got Dutch hands on it. Over the top of Tessier, Deutsch heads infield towards Aitchison and Bonner. It's Lovabon defending down the short side, but it's open, they spread it. Whoa.
Yep.
Big moments here. We should mention it's Exeter's defence which is vaunted, but Bristol's is the second best in the league. They will not go down without a fight here. Leach finding Wall. Perry now, who did that extraordinary solo run in the first half, but is stymied on this occasion. Feyanati! What a carry from the Red Rose. They're 6 metres short of the score that would keep them in this one.
Use it!
Bears know that a turnover wins it. Bears know that a penalty might cost them their season.
Bristol space.
Robinson finds Cassier. Buchanan in a one-on-one with Bonner. It's box office, but in flies Aitchison to make her presence known.
Ball is out.
The gap has shrunk to 5. Make that 4. Maloney with a big carry. This now Allen. Pam is there as the latest bastion of this white defensive wall. On charge Exeter.
Tackle Bristol.
It's Flo Robinson, the scrum half, bustled backwards. Wall wants it. In support, she has Swan. 1 metre the difference, and they're close to the uprights here. They might well drain the conversion if they score it. Bristol think they've won it back.
Not from there, not from there. Let it come back here. Let it
Bristol
come back
screaming that they have the ball. They do. It's Alicia Joyce Butchers. She scores them, she swipes them.
Use that, please.
Bevan barking orders. 30 seconds left to play on this one. Surely even Bristol Bears won't look to play it from here. You would have
5 step. 5. Good work.
Exeter needs to get this back. There are 2 bonus points to be salvaged here, remember. Scoreboard could have been losing bonus point territory. But there are 8 seconds left on what has been one of the games of the